All right, Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Rachakwadash. Double honors to our apostles and elders of Great Millstone who teach and who also were well. Peace and salutation to those of the hopeful elect. I just want to do a quick lesson, going into the state of Babylon the Great, also known as America. All right, this place is circling down the drain. It's getting worse and worse as we speak, man. All right, the minds of these American people are in total confusion. All right, total darkness, and that's leading to the people of America being in a state of extreme discomfort, unease, anger. All right, because these people, hey, these people they don't want to go into a lockdown. All right, they don't want to wear a mask. All right, but they're doing it because this devil, all right, is pushing his new world order ultimately, all right, underneath the guise, of a pandemic. All right, and these people, all right, that are conforming to the will of E, they might have got the first Vanessa. All right, but now this devil, he's requiring more out of these people, man. All right, and when you go out, all right, in your everyday life, all right, speaking of us that's in the know, all right, you can see a spirit that's on these people in America. These people are totally drained. They're exhausted. They're extremely frustrated, and they're mad. All right, because of the state of their life. Okay. All right, the living conditions of America is becoming more and more hellish. It's becoming more and more unbearable for these people. All right. First and foremost, we're in an inflation. Okay, and two reasons. All right, that is causing this inflation. One of it being the Lord is causing a famine. All right, there's a drought. All right, so the agriculture is not producing, so there's less food. All right, and when there's less food, that means the demand of the items go up. Okay, when there's less products. Okay, and then on top of the demand, all right, of the food, which is scarce, all right, you have the collapsing of the American Federal Reserve note. Okay, the fiat currency is weakening as we speak. Okay. And, you got this devil talking about he want to do, the second lockdown. All right. That's going to totally do in. All right. This economy. All right. It's going to totally do in, the dollar. All right. These different businesses and infrastructure that's been established that are barely hanging on from the first lockdown. All right. This second one is going to do them in. All right. And what this is going to cause is going to cause, Jacob's trouble, pretty much, that you read about in the scriptures. All right, and all these people that are trying to figure out, how they're gonna pay the bills. They're trying to figure out, how they can relieve their stress. All right, how they can escape this anxiety, this torment, of the pressure that the Lord is putting on America through E. All right, these people is gonna rise up. Okay, these people is gonna rise up. So let me get. All right, a quick precept. It's in the Apocrypha. This is 2nd Ezra chapter 15 and 14. It says, well, I'm gonna start at 12. It says, Egypt shall mourn, and the foundation of it shall be smitten with the plague and punishment that the Most High shall bring upon it. All right. And, through the spirit, this is speaking of, the modern day Egypt, which is America. All right. Verse 13, it says, they that till the ground shall mourn. And that's what's happening right now. Those that are tilling the ground, because that famine is coming. All right. These people ain't getting the rain. OK, these people, the crops are failing. All right. And these crops that are supposed to be seasonal, all right, that are failing, all right, once it's come time to hit the shelves, all right, hey, there's not going to be any product there. Okay, so that's why, people in many different states, they're going into their local Walmarts and there's nothing on the shelves. Okay, and again, These are things that the news is not covering. All right, the news, the only thing the news wants you to know is the fucking propaganda about the fucking Vanessa, all right, and the Crown Royale, all right, and the whole time America is crumbling right before your eyes. All right, we're in hyperinflation, and there's no way you can fix this. You can try to pump as many, all right, stimulus packets, all right, into the economy. All right, you can keep printing out money, all right, but that's only gonna decrease the value even more, all right, which is only going to increase inflation. All right, so it's going to be a point where a loaf of bread is going to be $20 just to get a loaf of bread. Okay, so going back, Salakia, going back to 2nd Ezra 15, it says in 13, they that till the ground shall mourn, for their seed shall fell through the blasting and hail, and with a fearful consolation. All right. And ultimately is going into when the nuclear missiles hit. Verse 14, it says, woe to the world and them that dwell therein. All right. And you can see woe meaning destruction. All right. When you look at the state of the world, the whole world is in agonizing distress. Okay. And the Lord is saving America for last, because the most gruesome judgments in the history of mankind is going to take place in America. All right. So this is just the buildup. This is just the beginning. All right. But you look at other places in Afghanistan. All right. You got, unrest over there. Unrest in these different European states, European nations, countries. I mean. All right. Floods. All right. Moab, all right, and Ammon, the so-called Chinese, the so-called Japanese, there are different floods over there. The Lord just, hit Haiti with another major earthquake, all right? And, these are all direct strikes, okay? Because on the island of Hispaniola, you also have the tribe of Simeon, which are the so-called Dominicans, all right? And they doing cool. They on the same island, all right? But the Lord, is just judging Haiti. It just shows you that the Lord is precise, man. All right. And I want to get a quick precept real quick, just to show you, hey man, the Lord is precise. All right, this is the book of Zephaniah, chapter 3 and 5. The just Lord is in the midst thereof. He will not do iniquity. So all these judgments that's going on in the earth, all right, the hell that's being put upon these people is righteous. It's of the Lord. Why? Because the state of the earth and the state of these people are wicked. All right. Over there in Haiti, all right, that's the Lord's, one of the tribes of Israel. All right, the Lord's chosen people. All right, one of the tribes that the Lord chose to be his priest. All right, for the time being until the kingdom of heaven. All right, and they're going full body into worshiping, Satan and the heavy in the witchcraft. And that's the reason why the judgments is so harsh. Okay, now the judgment for America is going to be the most extreme. All right, because this place is the worst place on the earth. Okay, so all these different calamities. All right, the death of little children. All right, of women, old people. Okay, this is all just because it's judgment from Yahweh Shema Shai, which controls life and death. So going back to Zephaniah 3:5, the just Lord is in the midst thereof. He will not do iniquity. Every morning doth he bring his judgment to light. So the Lord is judging every moment, every day. All right. But these people are still going hard body in their wickedness. I believe in the Apocrypha, it says, they shall not always be mindful of the scourges. All right. And victuals shall be so good, cheap on the earth, that they shall think of themselves to be in a good case. All right. Roughly paraphrasing. All right. So these people is not acknowledging that the Lord is judging them and judging the earth. So what is the Lord going to do? He's going to continue to judge till it gets to a point where the judgments is going to be so extreme. You're just going to have to acknowledge that it's Yahweh Shema Shai. And that's going to happen, all right, when the Lord sends his only begotten son to enter into this realm, all right, to deliver the elect, all right, and to destroy the armies of this earth, man. All right, so this is all a buildup. Okay, so back in Zephaniah 3 and 5, it says, every morning doth he bring his judgment to light, he faileth not, but the unjust knoweth no shame. So those that are unjust are not ashamed of their actions, even though the Lord is continuing to judge people on the earth. All right, the only ones that are acknowledging their sins and trying to walk in the path of righteousness are those of the hopeful elect that have this truth and the faith of Yahweh Shema Shai, which you have to be an Israelite to even qualify for salvation. Okay, the rest of these people is going to be destroyed, and they're born in vain. All right, so going back to 2nd Ezra 15 and 13, it says, they that till the ground shall mourn, for their seed shall fail through the blasting and the hail, and with a fearful consolation. Woe to the world and them that dwell therein. So woe to the world. Verse 15, for the sword and their destruction draweth nigh. Okay, and the sword, this is a manifold, scripture, because the sword ultimately is going into the nuclear missiles, which is going to be let off upon America. All right, but also Esau is the Lord's sword. You can read that in the book of Psalms. It says, save me, from the wicked, which is thy sword. Okay, and the wicked is speaking of Esau, Edom. All right, so for the sword and their destruction draweth nigh. All right, so Esau, he's about to come down with great wrath. All right, with all this confusion that this devil has stirred up. All right, he has separated the minds of these people to where they believe that they're independent thinkers, but really they fit in each one of the categories that Esau has created for you. Okay, the only ones that don't fit in that category is the elect. All right, the men of the Lord. And that's why eventually Esau is going to come down and persecute the men of the Lord, because he can't control this truth. Okay, he can't compromise, all right, the men of the Lord in his word, all right, going out. All right, so eventually he's going to cut off the internet, but the word is already going to do what it was set out to do, and he's going to try to come after the men of the Lord, but the Lord is going to lift up a standard. Okay, but as for the rest of you people, you're going to succumb, all right, to these judgments, to the sword. You're going to get thrown in FEMA camps and tortured, all right, shot in the streets. Okay, so 2nd Ezra 15 and 15, for the sword and the destruction draweth nigh. So hey, that destruction draweth nigh. You can feel it. Okay, you can feel people who's getting tired, of the system. All right, again, everybody is divided. Okay, there you got people that are on the side of taking the Vanessa. There's people that are not on the side of taking Vanessa. You got people that have took the Vanessa and then regret it. All right, then you have people that didn't want to take the Vanessa, but then now they're considering taking the Vanessa because of the Esau, cracking down, with these draconian measures. Okay, then you got the left wing, then you got the right wing. Okay, then you got these people, different ideologies of religions. All right, so these people are all confused. All right, and distraught. Okay, it says, and for the sword and the destruction draw nigh, and one people shall stand up and fight against another, and swords in their hands. So that's eventually what's going to happen. All right, as people is just going to lose it. All right, when Gerald Celente, all right, he said, when people have nothing to lose, then they lose it. Okay, and right now these people, they have nothing to lose. All right, because they feel like their life is being taken from them, as we speak, man. Okay, with Esau coming down with great wrath, but this is all part of Esau's plan. All right, to collapse the economy, to put hell on these people. So when he rolls out his new digital currency, all right, coupled with the MOTB, the microchip, all right, then he's going to roll it out and make it seem like this is the final, this is what's going to make everything right. This is going to be the savior, all right, of the American society. That's what he's going to roll it out. And not only American society, he's going to roll it out like this is going to be the savior of the whole world. All right, because it tells you that our temptation is going to come upon the whole earth. Okay, so hey, with that, people being so distraught and not knowing which way to go and who to believe and who not to believe, all right, these people is going to outright take the MOB, okay? And they're going to be destroyed for it, especially Jake, all right, that cover with a covering but not of the Lord. They refuse, all right, to listen to the counsel of Yahweh Shema Shai, all right, the men that are speaking in the spirit of Yahweh Shema Shai, backed up by the word of Yahweh Shema Shai. They refuse to hear it, okay? So they're going to die in their unfaithfulness. Going back to 2 Ezra 15 and 16, all right, it says, for there shall be sedition among men and invading one another. They shall not regard their kings nor princes. In the course of their actions shall stand in their power. So this is the times that we're living in. All right, there's going to be more and more, all right, people rising up. All right, it's going to start little by little, and then eventually, all right, everybody's just going to be in total anarchy. All right, but you have people rising up right now. And you have Esau planting false flags too to invoke, all right, more sedition. Okay, so you have real people, all right, that are tired of this government. You got real Edomites out there that are tired of this shit, and then you have Esau, the government, setting agents out there, agent provocateurs, you know, to evoke that spirit even more. All right, because this is all part of Esau's system, his order out of chaos. All right. And when these people go at each other's neck, that's going to give Esau the green light to come down, you know, with the totalitarian police state. All right. So going down to 2 Ezra 15 and 16, for there shall be sedition among men and invading one another. They shall not regard their kings nor prince. So these people are eventually not going to regard Dr. Fauci. They're not going to regard or Newsom. All right. They're not going to regard these different governors and these different law makers, okay? They're not going to regard anyone. It says they shall not regard their kings nor princes. In the course of their actions shall stand in their power. So people is going to start doing whatever the hell they want to do, all right? And people is going to be taking up arms and forming, you know, different, marauder groups, okay? And while this is happening, Esau, he's going to try to set up the men of the Lord in the midst of that. Okay, so he can come down upon the servants. All right, because while everything is going on in America and around the earth, you have the elites watching from afar, are orchestrating the whole thing. And the elites, they have the true knowledge, all right, of what's going on. All right, they understand that the so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Seminole Indians are the biblical Israelites. All right, they understand that the Most High and His only begotten Son is real. And they understand that the angels of the Lord ride in those so-called UFOs. All right. They have this esoteric knowledge. But with that, all right, they're still proud. They still want to hold on to their power. So they're withholding this information. All right. And that's why they have so much disinformation. All right. They got all kind of different series coming out on Netflix and these different, you know, platforms saying that the what's in the so-called UFOs are little green aliens. All right, Esau's doing that on purpose, man. All right, and they got a shadow ban on this truth for all these years, because this devil can't afford for the truth to come out, that they're really the biblical Edomites. Okay, they can't afford this truth to go out, and that's why eventually they're going to try to cut it off. And in the midst of this chaos, they're going to try to frame and set up the men of the Lord. All right, so verse 17, it says, a man shall desire to go into a city and shall not be able. So when Esau lock everything down, all right, and it's going to be shoot to kill unless you have the MOTB, all right, and it's total martial law, Jacob's troubles ensue, all right, you're not going to be able to go to the next city, all right. It's going to be jurisdictions and different brigades or blockades, all right, from getting you from point A to point B, man. All right, because this is Esau. This is him coming down with total control, because he wants you people to be slaves. All right, and the final end all be all for this devil is that microchip, which is the MOTB, man. So I want to get another precept, because we're in that time where the Lord is having these prophecies, all right, come into full flourishing. Okay, this is Jeremiah chapter 51, And 7, Babylon hath been a golden cup in the Lord's hand that made all the earth drunken. The nations have drunken of her wine. Therefore, the nations are mad. All right. And that word mad, when you read it, it really goes into these people are like crazy, loony. Why? Because they have drunken the philosophies and the ways of America. All right. Which is the ways of death. OK, now you see in Afghanistan. All right. America has totally lost that war. All right. Then you have. All right, those Afghanistan, all right, which they calling them, all right, terrorists or whatever, all right, but they're over there setting up order, all right, they're getting them women over there in order and everything, all right, but that just show you how the ways of Babylon is totally backwards, and these people, they went from being loony to waking up, and now they're really mad, okay, and America's looking bad. Because those people that they quote unquote try to liberate in wickedness, all right, America just totally left them people to die, man. All right, and what does that look like? All right, for the rest, of America's allies. All right, that's not a good look. All right, they're seeing that America is not a team player when it comes to backing up their allies, man. So that's going to lead to these other nations ultimately turning their back on America. All right, according to biblical prophecy. All right, so I'm gonna continue to read verse 8. It says, Babylon is suddenly fallen and destroyed. How for her take balm for her pain, if so be she may be healed. All right, verse 9, we would have healed Babylon, but she is not healed. All right, so America, there's no way you can heal this place. There is no game plan that any president could come up with to make America bounce back. There is no way you can build back better. All right. Well, the scriptures tell you, and when they shall build, the Lord shall throw down. OK, and that's speaking directly to Esau, Edom. All right. So there's no way you can make America great again. All right. Because this place ain't great no more, and you can't make it great again. So it says, we will have healed Babylon, but she is not healed. Forsake her and let us go everyone into his own country. So it's going to get to that point, and then people is already leaving America now. OK, but it's really going to get to a point where you're going to have a mass exodus of people leaving America, and mainly it's going to be heathens because they have a place to go. All right, they have their own country to go back to. All right, especially when he keep on locking down, saying you can't leave the country unless you have a Vanessa. All right, hey, these people they gonna try to get on the next flight out of here, man. It says, and let us go everyone into his own country, for her judgment reacheth unto heaven and is lifted up even to the skies. Yeah, this place hey, as we continue to go on, this place is gonna look more and more just done. All right. This place is going to look more and more post-apocalyptic. It's going to get to the point where you just going to be like, damn, you're going to look around and you're going to know that you are in Jacob's trouble, man. All right. And people's going to be more outlandish. People's going to rise up. Esau's going to do more false flags. All right. More and more rights is going to be taken. All right. More and more so-called pestilences is going to spring up. All right, these people is totally miserable right now. All right, and America is collapsing. All right, there is no way you can bring this place back, man. Let me get Ecclesiastes, the 3rd chapter. In 1, it says, to everything there is a season and a time to every purpose under the heaven, a time to be born and a time to die, a time to plant and a time to pluck up that which is planted, a time to kill and a time to heal, a time to break down and a time to build up. All right. So, hey, America, they had their glory. All right. They had the nifty 50s all the way up until now. OK. And now we're at the end of America. All right. Where America, all right, is in a state of decadence. All right. Which is the last state of a society. All right. Before it collapse. All right. Just like ancient Rome, this is Rome all over again. OK, this is the Greco-Roman Empire all over again. All right, the beast that was wounded and got healed. All right, this is it all over again. But now we're at the end of this second rule by E. All right. So that's the reason why everything is happening like this. It's the Lord are tearing this place down. All right, we're in that time. Okay, no longer is America, in that glory stage. The American dream, proud to be American. All right, that was a reality at one point in time, but now America being destroyed. This is that new reality. Okay, verse 4: a time to weep and a time to laugh. So we're in that time of weeping, man. All right. While these people are still trying to hold on to their last folly, their last laughs on the internet. All right. The men of the Lord has been weeping. They're in the house of mourning. All right. So when the Lord bring that judgment and show mercy upon his servants, all right, then it's going to be a time to laugh for the elect and a time to weep for you people. All right. It says a time to mourn and a time to dance. Verse 5, a time to cast away stones and a time to gather stones together. A time to embrace and a time to refrain from embracing. A time to get and a time to loose. A time to keep and a time to cast away. A time to rend and a time to sow. A time to keep silence and a time to speak. And we're in that time where the elect is speaking through the spirit and power of Yahweh Shema Shai. The Lord Yahweh Shema Shai is speaking through the elect. Okay. And it's going to come a time where to keep silent pretty soon. All right. Because Esau is going to totally outlaw this word. Okay. And brothers is no longer going to be on the highways and hedges. Brothers are no longer going to be on the internet. All right. And by that time, all right, the gates of repentance, all right, is going to be closed. All right. And the only thing that's going to comfort you in the time of Jacob's trouble, Isaiah 33:6, wisdom and knowledge shall be the stability of thy times and the strength of salvation. This word is not going to be accessible to you Israelites, all right, that didn't get it, man. All right, that were playing around with it, all right, or you was jumping around from different camps, all right, but then right at the end you realize that great millstone was the ones that was actually, serious, okay, but then it's going to be too late, all right. So hey man, this right now is the time to speak. So you got to get this word while you can. All right. Verse 7, a time to rend and a time to sow, a time to keep silent and a time to speak. Verse 8, a time to love and a time to hate, a time of war and a time of peace. So we're not in the time of peace. All right. There's war all over the place, especially in the Middle East. All right. But then there is a war on the Rona. There's war on you people's minds. Is a spiritual war that the elect is in. Okay, Esau is waging war on the elect. Okay, so we're not in a time of peace right now, and those that are fooled to think that they're in a time of peace, what is it, 1 Thessalonians 5? All right, when they shall say peace and safety, then sudden destruction shall come upon them. Okay. So we're in that time, man, where anything can happen at any time. And that's why we have to be prayed up to Yahweh Shema Shai. All right. And, making sure we're doing the things that's required of us, as well as repenting, as we seeing the time of judgment is drawing nearer and nearer. OK, so the scriptures say, draw nigh unto the Lord and he will draw nigh unto you. All right. So Lord's will, this was like an open forum. Through the spirit, a lot of things are going on, so you can touch on a lot of topics right now. All right. So Lord's will is edifying. I want to say, call Allah Yahweh Shema Shai by Shema Chakodash. Forgive me the spirit to do this lesson. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who teach and who also were well. Peace and salutation to those of the hopeful elect. Shalom and a Abba.